Hi, everybody. This is Frank with Hero Outdoors. I'm here with Karla Jump. Um, a long time ago, when we were thinking about doing the Full Plates, Full Hearts fundraiser, I started asking for opinions, and Karla had a little bit of a story to tell, which kind of shaped the way this whole thing evolved. Karla, would you like to tell that story now?
I think I would. So, over my years as being a teacher, I also found my way into being a foster parent. And so, with that, brought kids into my home, some that I've adopted. But here recently, I got a family member in my home. And when she came to live with us, shortly after she was with us, I ended up getting a notification from the school letting me know that she had a school lunch debt. And with that school lunch debt, I asked why I was being held accountable for her debt when I had just gotten her into my home. And they said that the debt follows the student and it doesn't go away until the debt has been paid. And I said, well, she was in the custody of other people. Why are we not holding those people accountable for paying that bill? And there are some people who just can't afford to pay the bill. There are some people that refuse to pay the bill and they prioritize their money in other situations. And so, with working with them, I said, well, isn't there a way to get this taken care of, or am I going to have to pay for it out of pocket? And they said, well, if you don't pay for it, then it's going to follow this student throughout her career. And when she gets into high school, if this bill still hasn't been paid, there's the possibility of her not being able to receive her diploma because it's seen as a school fine. Um, so, with that being said, and doing some fast talking, we figured out a way to get her debt paid where I didn't have to pay for that. But knowing that, I also figured that if this student in particular, who was a young elementary student, had a school debt, how many of our other students who are in middle school or high school or on the verge of getting ready to graduate have this debt that they didn't create? It's not their responsibility. They are students, they are children, and it's our responsibility as their caretakers, the adults, to pay for those bills or to turn in the paperwork so that they get help for paying those lunch bills
Can I
or
ask you a
breakfast
question?
bills.
If
Yes.
if somebody comes into the school system in elementary school in debt, and nobody picks up, and they're a foster kid, nobody picks up that debt, how long do they have to go eating the peanut butter sandwich?
It kind of depends on some of the schools because I know that there are some lunch people out there who will bend the rules a little bit and make sure that those kids are getting a healthy meal to make it throughout the day. And then there are other schools where they stick by those rules and the kids get the school lunch that's provided until you pay your debt. So it kind of is a case by case basis.
I found out it's whole grain.
And so
It's cheese. It's a two slices of ham, thin slices of ham on whole grain, or just peanut butter on whole grain. That's the sandwich, whole grain.
And when you're given that same meal, whether it's a kindergartner or a middle schooler or a high schooler, giving that same meal to all ages is obviously not going to suffice. And actually, the person that I have in my house is a young elementary student who probably eats as much as my college boys. So one of those little sandwiches was not going to suffice. Um,
You've been teaching for a while.
I've been in the Toronto County School District for 30 plus years.
Oh, God bless you. What would you think the effect of? I mean, they're getting food, but it's not a lot of food. What would you think the effect would that of that would be on an elementary student, or
The
getting that meal while their friends are getting a full meal?
Well, there could be some embarrassment, some humiliation, some aggression for the kids who do come from home and they have a good meal, or the kids who do get the good meal and they get to go up and get an extra slice of pizza or extra vegetables, whatever the case may be. Because young kids really don't understand why you get the full meal, but I only get the partial meal.
Right.
Because they don't know their lunch debt. They take home the notices, the emails go home, but our elementary kids really don't know what that debt is. They don't understand it. And there's a lot of pride out there in our school district where people won't turn in those forms to get the free and reduced lunches. Um, and I'm not sure what the answer is to getting parents to swallow their pride on behalf of their student or students to ensure that their kids are getting those quality meals. And so what you're going to see a lot of teachers doing is they're going to supplement those meals by having a snack drawer in their room, in their classroom.
Did you have a snack drawer in the classroom?
Oh, definitely. I've
What kind of
always
snacks
had.
would I be having if I was said child in the classroom?
So if my kids showed up late because parents were getting them to school late and they had missed the breakfast train, or kids who had come back from lunch. I had things, I had a small refrigerator in my room that had apples, oranges, different kinds of fresh fruit that they could get. But my actual snack drawer had things like granola bars, um, fruit, fruit snacks, anything, peanut butter and crackers because we didn't have so many peanut allergies back in the day. But just any kind of little things that I could stick in my drawer, my kids didn't have to ask. So it really didn't matter. You could be a kid who your parents were paying full price for their lunch, or you could be a kid who was on free lunch. My kids didn't have to ask to go to the snack drawer.
Right.
The only thing that they needed to do was ensure that they really needed that snack so that they could make it through the day and not have to worry about their belly grumbling, and they could focus on the lesson that was being taught and the skill being learned.
Do you think having the reduced meal hinders their ability to focus on the lesson?
I think it does for some of our kids because if, just like you and I, if our basic needs aren't met, we're not focused on the task at hand. We're focused on getting our basic needs met. So if I'm hungry, I don't care how important the lesson is, I'm hungry.
Right.
And that hunger might look like me falling out on the floor and having a tantrum just to get out of the lesson because I'm so hungry. Or I even thinking about the kids who don't get enough sleep at night.
Right.
And they fall asleep on their desk and the teacher is constantly trying to wake them up. We have to ensure that the basic needs of our students are being met. And the only way we can do that is to work as a team throughout our community.
Right.
And work with our parents. Teachers really aren't the enemy as they have been seen in some places. Teachers are not the enemy. The teachers that I work with, so right now in my career, I'm a mentor teacher. So I work with teachers who are coming brand new into the profession.
God bless.
And a lot of those teachers, the majority of those teachers care as much, if not more, about those students walking into their classrooms than some of their home lives.
Right.
So they're going to provide those things. I know last year I had one student who was very honest and he said, I can't sleep at night because mom and dad are always fighting. I don't sleep. I'm fixing breakfast for my younger siblings. So part of his plan when he gets to school in the morning, when he gets too tired to focus and study, he goes to a special room where they have made a nap space for him to take a 15 to 20 minute nap so that when he gets back up, he can refresh, eat a snack, and then go on with his day.
I didn't know anything about this. We sat on a porch on a sunny afternoon, and I told her and a couple of other teachers what was going on. And she said, here's something you need to focus on. Since then, I can say that almost all of the foster kid debt has been, that's the wrong way of saying it, foster kids' food debt has been covered.
Which is really cool.
Which is really cool. There's about $70 left, and we're going to knock out the rest of that. But
that makes my heart happy.
Us bringing this to light, her bringing this to me, and us bringing this to light a month and a half ago, somebody wiped out all the student debt except for $68, which we're going to knock out. We're going to knock out all the high schools as promised. We're going to knock out hopefully all the middle schools, including Dean Morgan, which encompasses all of the rest of the middle schools alone. So anyway, thank you so much.
You are welcome. And
for
thank
teaching
you for
me this lesson. I brought it around.
Look at you. Thank
good.
You for doing what you do, and thanks to all the people out there that are supporting this cause. I'm just one person who's sharing my voice, my story, but there are so many more people out there.
A lot of stories, a lot of voices.
Have stories similar to mine, if not worse. And just to put another nudge in there, if you are a home that can take in a child, that we have more children that are in need of foster homes at this point. So if you have a loving home and you would be willing to do that, I encourage you to contact the Department of Family Services and ask for Caitlin, and she can walk you through those steps.
I wish we had Caitlin's number. We could post Caitlin's number right now.
I know it.
Next time. Caitlin, we're coming. We're going to drop your number. It's good. Thank you again.
Thanks.
God bless you. God bless America.